In a fiery first press briefing, White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt faced off against CNN's Kaitlan. Collins questioned the legality of President Trump's decision to fire several inspector generals, suggesting a potential abuse of power. Leavitt defended the president's actions, citing a Supreme Court case from 2020 that expanded presidential powers regarding the removal of certain executive positions. This confrontation highlighted tensions between the White House and the media, particularly around the issues of transparency and checks on executive power. Leavitt, at 27, marked her entry as the youngest press secretary, underlining the session with sharp exchanges and significant media attention. The briefing was not just about policy but became a stage for broader debates on governance and media relations. Following the initial clash, Karoline Leavitt adopted a bold media strategy that emphasized restoring common sense and asserting that Trump is everywhere again, phrases she repeatedly used during her briefing to rally support among MAGA supporters. This strategy was indicative of a broader attempt by the administration to recapture the narrative amidst increasing scrutiny from the media and public. Leavitt also criticized the traditional media for a loss of trust, arguing that the media's focus on controversy rather than substantive policy discussion was detrimental to the public discourse. This criticism resonated with certain segments of the American public who feel alienated by mainstream media, further polarizing the already charged political environment. The fallout from the briefing and the firings of the inspector generals prompted responses from both sides of the political aisle. Senator Elizabeth Warren criticized the move as a purge of independent watchdogs, expressing concerns over the erosion of checks on presidential power and potential for increased corruption. This sentiment was echoed by other legislators, worried about the implications for democratic oversight. The debate extended beyond the immediate legalities, touching on broader issues of governance, the role of watchdogs in maintaining governmental accountability, and the balance of power between branches of government. This situation led to a heated discourse in Congress, with discussions about the need for legislative action to reinforce the independence of the Inspector General's office and prevent similar incidents in the future. In the days following the briefing, public opinion was sharply divided. Media outlets across the political spectrum covered the story extensively, each framing the events through their ideological lenses. Conservative media praised Leavitt for her forthrightness and defense of presidential authority, while liberal outlets scrutinized the dismissals of the inspector generals as potentially damaging to democratic oversight. The intense media coverage sparked a nationwide debate on the role of the press in holding the government accountable. Social media platforms became battlegrounds, with viral posts and heated discussions reflecting the nation's polarization. As the controversy continued, the White House strategized to mitigate the fallout, focusing on reshaping its communication tactics. Karoline Leavitt and her team began emphasizing the administration's policy achievements, aiming to redirect the narrative away from the dismissals and toward economic and foreign policy successes. This shift was partly in response to feedback from key political advisors who stressed the importance of maintaining a strong policy-focused message as election cycles approached. Efforts were also made to smooth relations with certain media outlets, through exclusive interviews and press releases that highlighted the administration's transparency and accountability efforts. This was a tactical move to soften the administration's image and possibly regain some lost trust among the general public. As the story of the press briefing and its consequences unfolded, it became a significant case study in the balance of power, media influence, and public accountability in American politics. Karoline Leavitt's tenure continued to be scrutinized, with her actions at the briefing seen as a defining moment in her career. This incident prompted discussions on the need for legislative reforms to ensure a more robust system of checks and balances. The White House, under Leavitt's communication leadership, continued to navigate the complex landscape of American politics, adapting its strategies in response to the shifting dynamics of public opinion and media scrutiny. The broader implications of these events were felt across the political spectrum, influencing future political and media strategies.